Good day everyone! This is Group 4 contributing to charity channel Going Vlogger ng Kuwait. My name is Patrick Paradella and this is our vlog. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we are going to be making origami. And we have a wide selection of origami that we're going to be taking in this video. But for me, I'm going to be making paper rings. And I'll show you the process on how to make them. While we do origami, and while we are doing it, let's discuss more about communication. Now, let us have a lesson recap on what is communication. Communication is the process of connecting yourself to others. How you present yourself to others, how you give a first impression. And for this topic, we're going to be talking about the influences of culture through communication. Each country has a way of communicating with others, like greetings. Of course, we should respect on how they communicate is because it is their culture. It is what they've learned or experienced. I'll now give the spotlight to Haj, who will talk about the verbal and non-verbal communication and the influences of culture in it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the viewers of this channel, Gurung Vlogger ng Kuwait. I, Haj Felido, will be talking about verbal and non-verbal dimensions. Let us start off with the definitions of both dimensions. What is the meaning of verbal dimensions? Verbal dimension means using words in order to communicate with people or the person you are talking to. On the other hand, non-verbal dimension means doing facial expressions, gestures, and bodily movements to express themselves more. Verbal and non-verbal dimensions are usually used together to clearly impact the message used when used correctly. But a misunderstanding might happen when two words contradict an action. For example, a person is saying yes, but his or her head or facial expressions and movements are saying no. Like this.
Yes.
You get it, right? Well, I hope you do so. Here is another example. This is a video clip wherein verbal and non-verbal dimensions are used properly. When a person is smiling when talking about something they love, adore, and expressing their happiness about something. In this case, it is the PSSG Council giving a cake, cheering, and wishing Ma'am Marivic a happy birthday. We can see that Ma'am is very happy and she's smiling while thanking her students. Since Filipinos are very expressive people, I can tell that we use non-verbal dimensions a lot in talking, like moving our hands, our facial expressions. Filipinos will try to express their own opinions and ideas diplomatically and with humility, to avoid appearing arrogant, you may say. The tone of their voice varies widely by language, dialect, and region. Filipinos often communicate indirectly in order to prevent a loss of face and evoking hiya on the other side of an exchange. They tend to avoid interrupting others and are attentive to posture, expression, and the tone of voice to draw meaning. Some examples of non-verbal dimension that Filipinos may use are pointing at objects by puckering their lips and moving their mouths in the direction they are pointing to, and putting one's hand on their hips as a sign of anger. In conclusion, we Filipinos are very expressive people and we use verbal and non-verbal almost every day of our lives. Anyway, studies show that non-verbal communications is more important than verbal. According to studies, 55% meaning of any message is generated by the face and the body. 7% is for spoken words. Another 38% is derived from the way anyone speaks, like their tone and their volume. People cannot control their nonverbal communications all the time and fake their nonverbal cues. So, be careful in showing your emotions nonverbally. And now, watch me make an origami butterfly. Anyways, let us pass it on to CJ.
Alright, so oral and written dimensions. We can say that this also helps in communicating, or rather straightening the view of what you're trying to say. Though misunderstandings may occur when both these are not in sync. A person may be speaking something really nice to you, though the post the person made in their social media account says otherwise. Many of these situations occur that affect the communication between others. In In our society of Filipinos, our way of communication, specifically on the written dimension, we are more into writing or typing something down really wordy, thus making our written dimension in a very wordy statement as if a speech, long speeches. Though, looking at the Westerners' side, they're more on the writing these briefly and shortly because they believe that writing something too long and wordy would end up being just too boring for everyone. Our way of communicating differentiates us to many people, though still getting the message of what we are trying to say with either orally or written. Our culture and influence in these dimensions may be different, but we are still able to express what we are trying to say when both dimensions are in sync together. Now let us take a listen to the next step dimension. Let us hear what Jester has to explain.
Thanks, CJ. Now, the lines between formal and informal dimensions are rather blurry in the Philippines. Because we live in a communal society where we treat everyone as family. Because of this, the standards of being formal is lower compared to the Western counterparts. Let's take a look at the formal dimension. For us Filipinos, being formal is rather blurry as we treat the community around us as family, so our culture does not demand that much formality. For informal dimension, as said before, we treat each other with mostly jokes, memes, and slangs in a personal level. Now, compared to our Western counterparts, the standards on being formal and informal are quite higher. If you would do a meeting in the US, the setting, the attire, and how you communicate would be vastly different. This is due to the standards and what Westerners see as proper and formal. As for Filipinos, we have it somewhat more friendly due to our homeliness. In the end, it all depends on what we see acceptable. That's all for me. Now, let's see what our next reporter, Angel, will say.
Thank you, Jester, and hello everyone. Today I'll be your reporter, and my topic is all about the intentional dimensions and unintentional dimensions of communication and their effects on the culture and different situations. So let's get started, shall we? So, as we know, both forms of intentional and unintentional dimensions is that intentional means what you are trying to say is actually true. But on the other hand, unintentional means that you're not saying what you're meaning, and it might be expressed from not only speaking, it could be expressed from emotions and gestures and other forms of communicating without you actually knowing that you're saying something. This is unintentional. So now here are some of examples for both the unintentional and intentional dimensions in different situations. So let's say you're a 6-year-old and you drop your mother's favorite glass cup. Your mother would be mad at you, thinking you were careless, but in reality you are just a little kid. You don't know what you're doing, you didn't know what was right or what was wrong, so you just broke. Now, let's say for intentional, your mother asked you if you broke her glass. You said no at first, but she said that she wouldn't be mad at you. This is a way of her saying that I won't be mad at you if you tell me what you did. But of course, you are just 6 years old, so you believed her, you come clean, and you said you did break it. Now she is mad. This was intentional from the very start. You could tell obviously that she was just guilt-tripping the kid into saying what he doesn't want to say so she could get the right answer. And that's all for my topic today, and I hope you guys understood just a little bit. Would make me happy if you guys understood just a little bit of what I was saying today. Thank you for listening to my topic about unintentional and intentional dimensions and their effect on different cultures. Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye. The tail and that's the body. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Communication differs from country to country. We introduce ourselves differently as well as others. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please click the like button and subscribe to Gurung Vlogger ng Kuwait. Comment down below what you think about our video. This is Group 4, and I'll see you next time. Bye!